Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, and freaks of nature of all ages. My name is Reverend Brian Bad Hippie Jackson, and welcome to my channel. Okay, the last video I uploaded was my my channel update, where I kind of tried to explain to you what's going to be going on here in the future. I gave a little bit of a brief explanation about my faith, the fact that I am an ordained minister. I told you about some of the playlists that are going to be coming up, such as the Sing Along Saturdays is coming back, Bad Hippie's Guitar Method, full playlists on homesteading and survival. I have done some recording around the camper where I'm living right now. I've also done some recording in the back where I had my tent, my yurt set up, but plans have changed. So even though I'm going to go ahead and edit and show you some of the video that I've already recorded, I'm going to go ahead and record a new video here that's going to have all of the updated stuff for the homesteading and the camping. All right, so right now this is where I'm living. This is a Chevy Fleetwood Bounder. It is a 1999, I believe. It is 7.5, almost 8 feet wide by 31 feet long. And this is what I'm living in right now. So Seth has agreed to allow me to live here. I rent this from him, and he's given me permission to do everything I need to do in the back to set up my homestead. Some of the stuff I have, that big old pile of shit mess there is not mine. That is Sasha's. But this is like my work table, my barbecue grill, and cooking supplies. I do a lot of cooking outside. Down in here you can see I've got tools down there. Over here I have more shovels, rakes, and implements of destruction. My ash can, this is where I put the ashes when I'm done cooking. It's wood and charcoal, and that's what I do for cooking, is I mix wood and charcoal. I've got all my wood there. There's more firewood in that, firewood there, and then the charcoal, and I mix the wood and the charcoal when I cook to just make things last longer. All right, so there's my bicycle. It's in good shape. I just need to oil the chains up and pump the tires up. There's nothing wrong with the inner tubes. It's just that it's been sitting in my son's storage unit forever and a day, and so the tires have lost about half their air. But they still have some air in them. They're not completely flat, so it's just one of those deals where the air has gone out over time, and all I have to do is pump them back up. If they won't hold air, new tubes aren't that expensive. This big old stack of firewood and stuff here just needs to be cut down and moved into the back where we've got the fire bin, because they do have a fireplace in the house. They just never use it, so they got all this firewood collected up that they never use, and so I'm going to bust up the firewood and use it for my homesteading experiments. We got more lumber back there that can be used. There's plenty of storage, these little doors, underneath the camper for my stuff. Now on this back side, most of this storage back here is all of Seth's stuff that I just didn't have another place to put, so I put it in the storage. And then the units up here, starting like right behind my chairs, and this big thing here, and the storage doors like back in here. That's where I've got most of my stuff stored, and that one has got cooking implements. Hi, Billy. There's my Billy kitty again. Gosh, why do you always, you just have to be in the camera, don't you? You just have to. Hi, girl. Hi, you gorgeous thing. Hi, you beautiful girl. I love you so much. She is such a good cat. She is such an awesome cat. Oh. You just love your pets, don't you? You just love your pets and your belly scrubs. Pets and, you little dick. Let go. Let go. Ow, 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 ow. You little fucker. You little fucker. Oh. Well, there's marks on me. No blood, but definitely marks. Oh, that's what I get, huh? But what has happened is, you know, Seth and I have decided that I'm just going to stay in the camper until I'm ready to go out into the wild and homestead. and he's given me permission to use the backyard to do all of my experiments. So one of the experiments I'm going to do is I am going to set up a coal forge, or I don't know about a coal forge yet, but I will definitely be making a coffee can forge. So let's just go ahead and look at what we're going to be needing for that. Coffee can forges aren't really hard to make, but learning to use them can be a pain in the ass. So what we're going to be using is, of course, coffee cans. Now, I was using this to store my beans in, but now the beans are stored in that black coffee can there because it's plastic. Still stores my beans good. This coffee can is metal. So we're going to be doing 2 coffee can forges. We're going to be making one out of this coffee can for larger items, and then we're going to be making one out of this coffee can for smaller items, so that you guys will know how to make a forge. And then once we get the forge made, my son and I are going to go over, do some stuff and show you how to do things like basic weapon smithing, tool smithing, making arrowheads and stuff like that. All right, so this is the inside of the camper that I'm living in. I'll turn that fan back on. It's already fucking hot as hell today. I'll turn that fan back on after I get done recording. But this camper, unfortunately, does not have functioning electric running into the camper. We're not sure what is wrong with it, but it just doesn't work properly. And so the way I get my electric is that extension cord right there is running from the front porch into this window right there. It goes into that blue power strip right there. That blue power strip feeds that power strip right there. That power strip powers that box fan, my computers, and that light. Then the other 2 extension cords, this yellow and red one, they run underneath here and go back this way by the cat food. And I'm not going to show you that damn litter box under there because it needs to be changed. And then the yellow one goes up and feeds that power strip, which operates that lamp, that fan, my coffee pot, my toaster, my crock pot. Now, I can only run 1 or 2 things that generate heat at a time, because things that generate heat pull a lot more electricity than things that don't. So if I run too many things that generate heat at one time, then all my fucking lights go out. So I have to be very, very conservative with my electricity. All right, so I've got the electricity run like that, and then the last cord goes back this way into the room, feeds the power strip right down there, which feeds that box fan and did feed that desk lamp, but the lamp went broke, dick. It doesn't work anymore. I'm using that now. That's a solar powered lantern, and it is solar powered. There's a little, oops, wrong way. The solar panel is on the top of it. Right, show you that. It's got the solar panel right there on the top, and so when it runs out of juice, I just take it. In fact, let me just go ahead and do that now because it was getting low on juice last night. So when it runs out of juice, dropping shit, I just take it outside and set it in direct sunlight, and we're good to go. And I'm going to get a couple of more of these because I like it. There we are, charging. All right. So there's no electric, you know, the electric I have, I'm running with these extension cords. Now, the lava lamp does work, it just needs a new light bulb. So I'm going to go down to Spencer's one of these days, because that's the only place in town that sells lava lamp light bulbs that I know of, and get me a couple of new light bulbs. The other things that I've had to engineer myself is there is also no plumbing and running water in this bad boy. With no electric, the water pump doesn't work. So, no running water. So what I have to do is collect water. Now this is where I wash my dishes, and also do some hand washing and face washing. But what I do is collect water from the hose and keep probably around 30 gallons of water stored at almost any given time. And then I fill up the sinks, like right here. Oh, that's nice and cool. I like that because it's going to be a hot son of a bitch today, so cold water is going to be a necessity. That is 2.5 gallon jug there. That's my primary drinking water. And then back here is my water storage. The big jug in the back is 2.5 gallons. The small jugs are all 2 gallons apiece. So I have 22.5 gallons in the tub. And then I have another 2.5 gallons over there. And that's how I do my water. And then the sink here, that's where the cats drink. And that's just them. I don't know why it is. I used to put food on the floor for, or water on the floor for them, and they won't drink it. They drink out of the sink tubs, so I just stopped putting water on the floor and let them drink out of the sink tubs. All right, let's see, what's some other things that I'm doing around here? I'm collecting bulk food. I've got something like 11 pounds of mashed potato flakes. I've got all kinds of stuff in there, and I'm trying to collect bulk food because I'm going to need it. Down here is where all my bulk dry food is. So I've got like a shit ton of pinto beans, split peas, lima bean, or get Billy, you and you're having to dig around and stuff. Look at you, you gorgeous little thing. So I've got all kinds of stuff like pinto beans, great white northern beans, yellow split peas, green split peas, lentils, navy beans, kidney beans, shit ton of white and brown rice. I've probably got close to, well over 50 pounds, probably pushing closer to 75 to 100 pounds worth of bulk beans and rice right now. So that's going to come in really, really handy when I start homesteading. Let's see, what else do I got? This up here is just generally what I eat on a daily basis. A lot of canned meat because it's less expensive than the real stuff and it keeps longer. All right, let's head on around the back of the house because my son came over this morning and we got my yurt set up. So we're going to go back there. Now that we're past that dumbass fence. That is the next tent that I'm going to set up. All the poles are underneath there, and that's what I'm going to use for my extra storage because I'm moving out of that camper and into this yurt over here, this bell tent, which me and my son set up this morning. No, not the trampoline. That thing. There it is. There's my new house. That's what I'm going to be living in. Yeah, here's my... "13 feet, corner to corner." So from there, 13 feet across. Plenty of room to stand and walk all the way till about, yeah, I've only got a couple of feet between my feet and the wall before my head actually hits. My stove jack is right here, so I'll be able to put my stove right here and run the pipe out right there. Everything will be cool and good to go. And I'll be able to have a wood stove in here. Good sturdy pole, place to hang a light. And then all around the corners here, there's little notches, like right there. And I'm going to be able to, I think I'm going to go get a string of white Christmas lights and string them up around them little notches, and that's what I'm going to use for light. I still have to get some colored pendants or something to put on the strings so that nobody trips and busts their ass on them. And then check out what the damn dog did to my hand today. Look at that shit. Fucking pit bull. He's such a good dog. He's adorable. What are you doing? What are you doing, Billy? Oh, there's my pretty girl there. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. You come rubbing on my legs? Did you come to give me leg rubs? Hi. You beautiful girl. You beautiful girl. You're so pretty. Look at her. Isn't she gorgeous? Look at those blue eyes. Billy girl. Billy girl. I love her so much. Hi, baby. How are you doing, big feller? Come here. This is the people I rent from. This is Sasha's dog, Baby. He's just a big, lovable goofball. He's the one that cut my hand yesterday. Actually, I cut my hand with him because he was gnawing on my arm and I riled him up too much. Hi, boy. Hi, you big lug. Oh, you gonna give me kisses? Huh? Huh? You gonna give me some kisses? Here, give me kisses. Yeah. That's a good boy. That's a good, I don't know if we got that on film or not. I hope so. I hope so. Because you're a big, beautiful pit bull. You are such a good boy. You are such a good boy. But yeah, he cut my hand yesterday with his big old chopper mouth. Them big old things in there. Yeah, them things right there. Them teeth. I like the tongue better than the teeth. You're a good boy. But he wanted to play and I was trying to work, so I kept pushing him and telling him no, and all that did was rile him up more. You're a good boy. Here, go get your ball. Bring it here. There, or chemo. Give it. How am I supposed to throw it if you won't give it to me? How am I supposed to throw it if you won't give it to me? Give it to me. You little butt. Give it. Give it. I can't throw it if you won't give it. Anyways, there's no shade out here. This thing gets direct sunlight from sunrise to sunset. So I'm gonna have to pull it down and reset it. Baby, I know I shouldn't have riled you up, huh? I shouldn't have riled you up. Go beat up chemo. I've got to take Seth's old playset down. This thing is ancient, but actually the lumber is still in really good condition. So there's plenty of 2x4s, 4x4s, 2x6s. See, what else do we got up there? We got 2x4s, 4x4s, 2x6s, 1x4s, and a big ass, I think that's a 4x8 over the top. Yeah, that's a 4x8 on the top bar. So there's a lot of good lumber in this thing. Okay, back here. This is going to turn into probably my primary experimental homestead area. Now, if we walk around this other side, I have been doing a lot of work recently, and I've got this side of the yard cleaned up fairly well. Finally got everything mowed down and weed-eated. The lawnmower is still broke dick, so I'm mowing the grass with a weed eater, but I've got the sprinkler set up. I did have my tent, my yurt set up right there, but the issue I ran into is that bad boy right there. Ooh, that's bright. Is the sun. This back lawn has absolutely zero shade, so the tent is in direct sunlight from sunrise to sunset, and it gets hot as a motherfucker in there, and it does it really fast. So that is a problem that we decided that we didn't even want to contend with. So Seth and I have decided that I'm just going to go ahead and stay in the camper. I have plenty of storage underneath the camper for most of my stuff. What we're going to do back on this side, where we've actually got shade, is instead of setting up my yurt, which is in that big bag right there, this is the box that came in, the yurt's there. Instead of setting that up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this playset apart, and I've already started what we've got up here for these chains. This is what I was using as a temporary clothesline, but I'm not going to be using that anymore. I'm just going to pull all that down. While I'm still here, even though I do have everything set up that I need to be able to do my laundry by hand, and I'll show you that in a little bit, there's a washer and dryer inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that while it's available. There's also, bathing and washing myself personally. I have everything I need to be able to, do it without going inside in the shower. I can, water tubs and stuff like that. But once again, since it's available, I'm going to use it. But I have done the experiments, and I do know that those things are functional. But what we are going to be setting up back here, if there's room for it, and if there's not room for it, that's why we're going to tear this big bad boy down. All the poles for it are there. Once we get this tent set up, it's not going to be for me to store my stuff. I've got plenty of room under the camper to do that. This is going to be so that my son can empty out that fucking storage unit that he's paying way too much money for. I told him, or I should say I advised him, not to go to U-Haul because U-Haul is the most expensive storage in town. He's got a 10 by 10 unit and he's paying $135 a month for it. There are privately owned storage units around here where you can get a 10 by 10 for 50 to 75 bucks a month, but he's paying 135. So we're going to set that tent up so that he can clean that storage unit out. We'll store all the stuff from the unit in the tent and he can get rid of that damn $135 a month bill. All right, so let's go back around front and look at a few other things. Now, weapons. There's my blowgun. And it is a functional blowgun. Unfortunately, I only have the one dart right now, but one dart is good enough to practice with, and I am accurate with an orange-sized target at up to 25 feet so far. And I'm still practicing to get that distance better. That is my bow. It is an old practice bow. This is the same kind of bow I used to shoot when I was in the Boy Scouts. And what I've got it strung with is right now is basic paracord. Paracord will work for a bowstring. It just won't work for a bowstring for any extended period of time. It loses its tension too quickly. But it's really good temporarily. You just have to replace the string more often. But I will be showing you how to make bowstring. I know how to do that, and we will be making new bowstring out of sinew for this bow when I get the sinew. Those little bad boys right there are old tent poles. You know, the kind of tent poles that got the rubber string in the middle of them and you fold them and unfold them? Well, they actually make a perfect size arrow, and as you can see, I've already been doing some experiments in how to knock them. So they will shoot. I have tested these. The bow will shoot them. They will knock. They work well. So the next step in the parade is once I get the forge built, we will be putting arrowheads on these. We're going to hand forge our own arrowheads. We'll be putting arrowheads on these, and then I'm going to go down to the hobby store, the craft store, and buy some turkey feathers, because turkey feathers make fantastic fletchings, and I'm going to show you how to make arrows and how to fletch your own arrows and make your own arrowheads. I also have a pistol crossbow right here that Seth has given me. He says he's got about 5 of them laying around, so he gave me this one and these old crossbow bolts. Now these old bolts are old and they're dry rotted, and you can only shoot them 1 or 2 times before the fletching falls off the back. Oh, how you like my incense burner that my son bought me for Christmas last year? Isn't that fucking badass? But so we're going to get into crossbow, shooting the crossbow. Now I also know how to make bows and crossbows out of wood and PVC. So I'm also going to be teaching you how to do that. We're going to be building our own bows. But before we do that, we're going to fix this one. Now the problem with this one is up here and down at the bottom, where the string connects on is very worn, and the problem is if you're not uber careful, when you pull this thing, especially the bottom, that string pops off, and if it pops off and smacks you in the leg, you are absolutely going to know it. So what I'm going to have to do is reshape these so that the string will hold better. So that's another piece of tutorial that we're going to be going over. We're also going to be going over all of my weapons and tools. In addition to those, another one of the weapons that I have, besides this machete up here, is where's that? There it is my wrist rocket, my slingshot. This thing will knock the living piss out of a grown man. This has got some power behind it. I want to get another one that's got the arm wrap underneath for better support, but this one is every bit as powerful as one of those that just doesn't have that arm support. I have a full bag of marbles for ammunition. And then for other ammunition, I have ball shot. This is 32 caliber ball shot, lead ball shot right there. And this is 36 caliber lead ball shot. There we go. 32 and 36. And then these are 32 caliber. Where'd he go? Right there. This is a 32 caliber lead slug. The lead slugs I probably won't ever be using, so I might just melt them down and turn them into fishing sinkers. I don't know. But these, if I don't have a black powder weapon, which I really want to get some black powder weapons, but if I can't get black powder weapons, these will work amazingly well for slingshot bullets. So we got that going on. But up here we've got one of my hatchets. I've got like that hatchet. I've got another hatchet in the back. I've got a roofer's hammer that's got a hammer and a hatchet on it. And I keep them all sharp. There's my favorite hunting knife, survival knife right there. That was given to me by my friend Jimmy. And it is a gorgeous, gorgeous blade. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and pull that one down for you and show you. Look at that bad boy. Is that not sexy as fuck? Oh man, I love this knife. I love this knife, and it is sharp as a motherfucker. You know, there's no sense in having a knife if it's not sharp. That's just the plain and simple fact and the truth. If you don't have a sharp knife, you shouldn't even have a fucking knife. The reason being is because a dull knife will hurt you a lot worse than a sharp knife will. If you cut yourself with a sharp knife, you're going to get cut. You're going to probably get cut deep, and you're probably going to need stitches. But what you're not going to need is massive stitches, because what happens is a sharp knife will cut you. A dull knife will tear your skin and make it even worse. There's my good machete, and this little bad boy here on this machete, I love this thing. That is a skinning knife. And it is also designed, those notches in it there, those are designed so that you can lash it to a stick and make a fishing spear. And I really like that idea. So that's my good machete. There's my cheap machete. This is a fire striker. So that's a flint fire striker. So we will be learning how to start fires without matches and lighter. And one of the methods we'll be using is flint and steel. That is a whetstone right there. I have other whetstones, so I'm going to be teaching you how to make fire without lighter and matches. What else we got going on? I'm actually going to teach you how to roll cigarettes too, because I roll my own cigarettes. And then my other weapon that I have that I absolutely love, my baby. Fucking stick. Is my sword. That is my sword. Let me do this. Okay. And this is my sword. Now, yes, it is wrapped in black duct tape because I just think it looks cool. You know, it was originally a saber, so if you look at the handle here, what we're getting is this is where the original handle was, and it was blade from here up, because it was a replica saber from the British occupation of India in the late 1800s. And so being a saber, it was made to wield from horseback, so it was supposed to be very front heavy so that you could slash from horseback. But seeing as how I don't do that, and I'm not intending on fighting anybody, especially not fighting anybody from horseback, this is a good piece of protection from just about any predator. A sword will take down a big animal, and for self-defense it's one of the greatest weapons in the world. And when I studied Aikido, my ex-father-in-law is a second-degree black belt in Aikido, and he specialized in katana, and that is the reason I did kind of a steampunk duct tape katana look to the saber instead of it being a saber.